Hello lovely people of the internet, welcome back to another video, or welcome if this is your first time joining me. I hope you'll enjoy yourself enough to stay for a little bit. This video is not going to be very long or very complicated. I haven't had the time to put something together that was too complex because I basically spent the last week or so on a less seen but very essential part of my whole creative process, and I wanted to kind of share that with you in this video. This is a part of my practice that I try to do as often as I possibly can, especially when there's a big piece that I want to paint but I'm not entirely sure how I want it to look yet. But it's also an exercise that I find extremely useful when it comes to researching my own style and trying to understand my own art a bit better. And lately I've been going through a little bit of an artistic existential crisis and I've been struggling with the visual aesthetic of my work. It doesn't feel like it fits me yet. It hasn't clicked for me as much as my concepts have, and although I have tons of ideas, I haven't really found a way to paint them that I feel belongs to me very well yet. Basically, I haven't found a style that I really love in myself yet. So in order to try and explore my work a little bit more, and in order to try and find myself a little bit better, I've been doing a lot of probably what I'd call concept iteration. You could also call them color comps. They're just basically practice paintings for the concept I want to paint. And for these particular concepts, I've been forcing myself to go really loose and to let go of my desire to make the pieces good in themselves. These are not the final painting. These are not tiny paintings I should be spending a lot of time on. These are for the purpose of experiment. They're for the sake of trying things out that I wouldn't necessarily dare to try out when painting a bigger piece. These are for me to get things I've wanted to try but was scared of out of my system, or things that I kind of knew would not turn out good but still wanted to try. They are basically pieces to get all my different what ifs out of the way and see the results of those what ifs and determine whether they were a good direction to explore or not. And even if the results I get I don't like for that particular concept, there might be things that I decide to re-explore again for a future idea. There is no time wasted when you are trying things out. It has taken me years to see the appeal in repeating the same painting over and over again, and even now, the side of me that is really impatient and just wants to get doing on the big painting finds it really tiresome and tedious to repeat the same concept over and over again. But I can also very much see and feel the benefit of it. There is something really cathartic about getting those what ifs out of the way. There is something really interesting and also a really good learning opportunity in just painting the same thing over and over again and seeing the differences and seeing what works and what doesn't. It's not something that you learn just for this piece. It will be knowledge that you can apply to everything else you paint later on. And so I'm starting to see the point of it, and I have to try and conquer this part of me that is impatient, because the part of me that is impatient isn't only impatient about getting a piece finished, it's also impatient about improving, and it wants to improve fast, and it's not happy when I don't get the results I want, and I get very down and I'm just like, I'm not improving quick enough and I don't know if I can do this. But that's all impatience. This impatience is coming in my way and is actually impeding my progress, and I need to calm down and realize that in order to improve, it's going to take me time, and it's going to take me a lot of iteration, it's going to take me a lot of exercises, it's going to take me failing, and it's going to take me repeating the same thing over and over again. And I need to come to peace with that. And so these small pieces are a really good opportunity for me to kind of in some ways maybe meditate on my process and realize that it takes a few iterations, it takes trying out, it takes failing, it takes it takes just repeating things to get somewhere. And it's not only the impatient side of me that's also impeding my progress, it's also social media and having art as my job and all those kinds of things that are putting pressure on me to continuously produce finished work. And that is just not the reality of creating art. It's just not true. And I've definitely been feeling the negative effects of continuously feeling guilty about not producing finished work all the time and every time I sit down to paint. And so I took the time this week to just sit down and decide that this week was going to be about creating loads of tiny paintings that didn't take me very long, in which I just explored whatever direction I felt like exploring at the time and be completely okay with the result even if I didn't like it. And it's been really cathartic and really freeing, because actually, oddly enough, even though during the painting I was often quite frustrated because I didn't get the results I wanted or it didn't look the way I wanted, I in the end felt really in control of myself, because I didn't give in to my impatient side, I didn't give in to my desire to improve, but my fear of putting the work in. I didn't give in to feeling like I failed because it was messy and not refined and didn't look like a finished piece. So in the end, it was such a good exercise in controlling my inner doubts and my inner problems with confidence, and generally my frustration with things not going the way I wanted them. It was a really good technical exercise, but it was also a really good meditative exercise and psychological exercise. And so I just wanted to share a few words about it in this video, because I thought it would be really maybe interesting for you guys to see, and maybe would inspire you to integrate concept iteration and color comps and repeating the same concept over and over in your own practice, because I know it can be quite scary and not very appealing as a practice, but I promise you, you'll see the benefits and it's a really wonderful thing to try out. And I'll leave you on this note. I hope you are all really well and that you enjoyed this really quick little loose messy video, and I hope to see you very soon in my next video. Bye everyone.